my setup today. Normally my live streams are on Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, and we'll have our regular live stream again tomorrow. But in light of the circumstances, I thought we need to talk about some things. Shout out to the NTZ crew. Michael Beecher Life, I see you on here. Jacob Chan J. Thank you. All my old heads, the Alpha Genius, KKMD Style, Ron Lawson, all my members, that's Jeffrey Tatter, Angelo Habib. Thank y'all, man, for your support. I really appreciate that. Any new viewers and subscribers watching today, and also anybody catching this on replay. As y'all know, an American national was abducted, that's what they call it in the newspaper, from his house down in Zamboanga del Norte, in a little place called Sabuco Town, out in the province. It's right on the edge of Zamboanga City, not far from where I used to live. Elliot Eastman is his name, 26 years old, from Vermont. Now, according to police reports and news, he had been in that area for about 5 months. In that area, I don't know how long he had been in. They didn't say how long he had been in the Philippines, but he was married to, he had a young Muslim wife, and you know, he was living in a shady area, man. Let's just be honest about it. I never blame the victim. He is a YouTuber. He's got a small YouTube channel. I think he just went over 1,000 subscribers. I was watching some of his videos just to try to find out as much as I can about who this guy was. And he was young, man, 26. And just like he didn't have a care in the world, but he knew of the dangers where he was. He talked about living in the red zone and how dangerous it was. He even spoke about the threat of kidnappings on a couple of his videos, man. I was like, wow, this guy really knew, you know, the potential trouble, man. And, you know, I'm just going to tell you something, guys. We have to start listening to our governments. They know a whole lot more about the places that we visit and live than we do. Because this is no time to be getting in the comments bashing vloggers, saying, oh, the vloggers said it was safe and this and that. Look, if you're going to put your life in the hands of vloggers, that's on you. You want to be ignorant. When you have a whole government website dedicated to your safety, okay? They have all the inside information. Let me give you, this is straight from travel.com, travel.state.gov on the Philippines from the United States. It says, this is the summary of the Philippines because they're at level 2, which means exercise extreme caution due to crime, terrorism, civil unrest, and kidnapping. Some areas have increased risk. This is from the website. They talking about the whole country of the Philippines. But the summary was, the summary of the whole country. It says, terrorists and armed groups have carried out kidnappings, bombings, and other attacks targeting public areas like tourist sites, markets, and local government facilities. Violent crimes are also common, such as robbery, kidnappings, and physical assaults. Now, this is from the United States government. I think they know a little bit more about the Philippines than me. I said a long time ago, okay, that I don't say the Philippines is safe anymore. I say it's safe for me because I don't know you. I don't know what you're into. I don't know where you're going. Do you use drugs? Are you selling drugs and all that? More than likely, we're following some woman. He was married. That's the reason he was there. He's married the young Muslim girl. And no matter how much we talk about safety, And we can talk until we're blue in the face, man. People are hard-headed. I sent a message to a guy who lives not far from where he was kidnapped. You know what he says? Oh, I keep a low profile and my neighbors look after me too. Dude, your neighbors ain't gonna do shit for you if 4 guys show up with M16s like they did with this young man. But we're hard-headed. Okay? It says, could reconsider your travel to Mindanao. We don't care because it's not going to happen to us. It only happens to the other guy. Well, tell that to Elliot Eastman and his family. Okay? I'm just telling you, man. And then people's like, it's only one incident, man. Look, I'm going to quote you straight from a guy in my comments. He said, this is a setback to the expat community. It is. It happens to one of us. It happens to us all. This ought to put you on alert for the rest of the time you're in the Philippines. How many times I got to tell y'all guys, go back in my library you think I'm playing. We've let our guard down over here. We let our guard down. We walking around here like we own this place. We at the mercy of Filipinos, man. The only reason why there's not more victims because they're good people over here. Otherwise, man, we put our necks on the chopping block to be cut off. This young man, he knew. Go in his channel. It's just simply called Elliot Eastman. And the particular video he's talking about, he says, one of them is, I'm going swimming with my wife or something, right? And they come to the road and he said, I got to hide because they hear a motorcycle. He said, that could be the kidnappers. And then one of them was, he's opening up a business, which is a sorry store. This guy didn't have a lot of money, okay? And he says when he first got there, you know, there was talk about his neighbors kidnapping him for ransom. And he says it is what it is, you know. He said sometimes I'm afraid here. I'm not going to lie, he said. He said especially at night, I find it hard sleeping. But keep your head on swivel, man, especially if you're down there in Mindanao, because we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about some places where you should avoid, where the government tells you to avoid, but you go anyway. He says, hey, can you recap? I just joined in. Yeah. Elliot Eastman, 26-year-old American national from Vermont, was kidnapped from his house last night down in Zamboanga del Norte in a little place called Sabuco Town. It's right off the outskirts of Zamboanga City. I lived in Zamboanga City on and off for 10 years, but there was places they told me don't go. I stayed right in the city. Okay, Zamboanga has a history, man. You know, there was a siege in 2013 where the bad guys came over and all that. You can go read up on that. But for the most part, I didn't have any problems because I stayed around, you know, just the basically the city proper and, you know, in the squatter area and all of that. And with all the police and military and bomb dogs and all that stuff, I felt pretty safe. But once you start going off into those provinces that everybody's so excited about going, when I done told you 1,000 times, you're a sitting duck in the province. I don't care what province it is. You're a sitting duck. You stand out like a sore thumb. There's nobody can help you. By the time the government gets there, police get there, you're already dead. Okay? But anyway, they said he'd been in the area for 5 months. And witnesses, because this is another thing that's got me kind of scratching my head, you know, because if in fact he was kidnapped, you know that the bad guys will pay the locals for information about potential kidnapped victims. But anyway, he said that the people showed up, identified as police. He resisted. They shot him in the leg, drug him to a boat, and they were last seen heading toward the provinces of Baziland, or Holo Salud. And you know whose hideouts those are. I won't say it. Okay? But also, here's something else to think about. Here's what the news said. They made reference to midterm elections next year. And they said kidnappings usually spike around this time because rogue politicians need money to fund their campaigns. This is something to think about, man. We're walking around like we own the Philippines. He says, I've seen documentaries on TV about this happening to American couples in the Philippines. He said, why did he stay if he knew he was dangerous there? I don't understand that. Well, I just said it. It's always a woman involved. That's the only reason we come to the Philippines. Okay? If you look, okay, as serious as this is, what times it travels, you see the Filipino vloggers, you know, they're still talking about women on their channels. They're not talking about this. They should be leading the charge talking about this man being kidnapped. But it's all about women. That's all that's in y'all's mind. So we come over here, we're like zombies. You know, he was there. And people talk about, oh, can you live on less than $1,000 a month? I guarantee you he was. He was living like a local. Okay? But that's the reason why. It's always some woman involved, because it's the only reason we come over here. W Secrets of Success says, yeah, we have assets in place there in the Philippines. Absolutely, but they can't help him. They can't help this young man. He says, I hope our team of guys go get him. I doubt it. They're going to try, but man, them jungles where they going to take him, they're so dense. Okay, we were watching a documentary last night. Remember the two Canadian guys, the Norwegian guy and the Filipino, they were picked up in Samal Island. And they were taken all the way to Baziland. And, you know, the Philippine military and police, they came within 100, the guy said either 50 meters or 100 meters. He couldn't, he said, but that's how close we were, but we didn't know. It's too dense. It's too thick, man. They tried. He said they lost anywhere between 30 and 35 military and police trying to rescue these people. Of course, the two Canadians got their heads cut off. The Norwegian, they let him go because I guess his family paid the money, the ransom. And then, of course, they let the Filipino go. Okay. But all this crap about all my neighbors are going to look out for me, my girlfriend's going to look out for me, dude, they're not going to do nothing for you if 4 people show up with M16s. Okay? Y'all down there living in these shady areas, man. When the government tells you, don't do it. He said, how can you keep a low profile? Absolutely. I'm just saying, you know, that's how ridiculous we think, though, because we're in denial. Now everybody's trying to blame the victim. You can't blame that man. I refuse to blame him. He had nothing to do with that. You know, but he was living like a local. I guarantee you he was living less than $1,000 a month. But at the same time, when you do that, as I've explained on some of my videos, you give up a lot of security. Remember, I was telling you about the apartment here in Zamboanga, excuse me. In San Carlos City, it's 10,000, right? 10,000 pesos per month. But it's in an upper middle class neighborhood. If you pay 10,000 a month for an apartment in Manila or Cebu, you're not going to be in an upper middle class neighborhood. You're going to sacrifice a lot of security. You're probably going to be in a real shaky area. And he was, because he was living in a squatters area right by the ocean. TJ Johnson said, must not stir the pot. Yeah. Boy, I tell you, you know, he knew better, though. But he was 26 years old. And you watch his videos, he just seems like a guy out there, because a lot of times his live streams is just, he'll just cut on the camera and just sit there not doing anything, not saying anything. Then he'll make a video. He's eating noodles. Just a typical 26-year-old, you know. Although he talked about the kidnappings, I don't believe he really thought he was in any danger. But he was, man. He said that can happen to any foreigner who doesn't do their personal research. That's right. But how many of us do our personal research? We're putting it all on vloggers. Man, y'all giving us way too much credit. That's what guys is in my comment. Go in my comments and your vlogger said it's safe. Well, you got a whole embassy, dummy, that gives you travel advisories. All you got to do is read it. They don't read them. Be honest, man. Raise your hand if you read the travel advisory for the Philippines before you came over here. I didn't. Okay. Angelo said there should also be an advisory warning traveling to certain parts of U.S. or Canada, even if most areas are safe. There's parts where crime is high. But you got to understand there is, Angelo, from other countries. Do you realize that? Those are the countries, they're not going to do a travel advisory on their own country. That's why the Philippines gets angry at these countries like Canada, Britain, Australia, the United States for putting those travel warnings saying, hey, don't go here, don't go there. Research that. But there are other countries that tell you don't go to America and don't go to certain parts of America. And it's smart of them to do that. So, yeah, you need to do more research on that. They do that. He said, yeah, you must research before doing anything. We don't do it, man. We're chasing some woman or following some woman. And she's got all our attention. Because the guy I told you, I messaged him. Because I knew, I was like, dude, this dude lives right close to there. And I messaged him, I keep a low profile, he says. And besides, my neighbors look after me. See, that's somebody in complete denial. There's somebody in complete denial. Dude, you within basically walking distance. He said within an hour, I could walk there. Okay? He said, I'd be out of there. He said, I'm in Singapore. He said, fuck out of here. He said some jackass was in his latest videos comment section asking if Calvin has been captured yet. Yeah, see, this stupid stuff, man. We don't have time for those games, man. This guy's in serious trouble right now. Okay? He's got a gunshot wound, from an M16 in his leg. So he's probably going to have his leg amputated because they don't have any type of medical care up there in them damn jungles, man. All they're going to do is ask for some ridiculous amount of ransom. And, of course, the United States, we don't bargain with terrorists. And, they'll probably try to find him, but he's in big trouble. But, this is the part of YouTube I don't like, man. We got some immature people. They're ignorant. Okay? You got guys smiling and laughing in the comments like, dude, you want to change places with that young man? He's terrified up there in those jungles. What's up, Michael Alexander? Sam W. said 25 years ago, I heard about people losing their head there from Filipinos I was friends with. When I was older, I had Filipino co-workers warning me if I ever visit, stay clear of southern Mindanao. Well, here's what the United States government says. Marawi, okay, now they're leaving out some places, but Marawi, it says, do not travel to the Sulu archipelago. That's Basilan, Olosalu, Tawi. They're right along that South Sulu Sea. But guess what else is along that South Sulu Sea that people don't even pay attention to? Palawan. You got to be careful, guys. Go back and look at some of the most famous kidnappings that happened to foreigners over in the Philippines. They were taken from Palawan. And then Samar Island, right up the coast of Davao. you know, it's a damn shame, man, that we get serious and start making these videos about safety after the fact of some young man, you know, getting kidnapped. But it says, reconsider travel to other areas of Mindanao. It says reconsider, man. Think about that all the way through. And here's the places I'm going to tell you. Because they say Marawi. That's where they had that civil unrest. All those people were killed, the whole city destroyed. It looked like the Gaza Strip is what it looked like. But I'm going to put in there Lanao del Sur, which is not far from Marawi. Maguindanao, which is not far from Marawi. Even if you're around a Legan city, man, you got to know who you're dealing with, man. These places are not that far from Marawi, okay? You know, they've got, you know, everybody talks about the Muslims, but the NPA are Christians. And they're General Santos, you know, around Davao and the mountains, mainly in the mountains, is where a lot of the bad guys have, but they've got watchers down on the ground, man, who do all the who pass along all the messages and communications from the bad guys up there. They do all the collecting of the money and the extortion and all that. They're the ones who carry the note in to the hotel owner and says, hey, if you don't pay, we're going to blow it up. You know, because like I said, even though I stayed in Zamboanga, they got a history, man. The people are there. You can't even say Abu Sayyaf in Zamboanga because you don't know. They could be sitting right next to you. T. Williams said, Cal, do you think he was set up or they figured out where he was through his channel? They don't watch the channels, man. He's been there for a while. Word of mouth just gets around. You got to understand, T. Williams, that, and I've read reports where they patrol around certain areas and they ask the locals, they'll pay them. Hey, do you know where foreigners are? Do you know where any foreigners and the ships are? Where they're anchored? And then that's how they know where they are. But this guy, hell, he was probably the only white guy within 200 kilometers. I mean, certainly in that little place, in that little province he was living. And he's just walking around like, you know, like he's at home because he was. And the longer you're there, more than likely, you know, people are going to know you're there. I don't believe nobody. I don't think that girl, his wife didn't set him up, man. It's what people are saying. Okay? But somebody saw him. It's just like I said, in Zamboanga, you can't say Abu Sayyaf because you don't know who they are. So maybe somebody was there visiting their family or something and saw him. Because when we were looking at the documentary, those people got families. Those bad guys got families. The Filipino who was kidnapped with those Canadians said, yeah, they were so bold that every Sunday they would have a family day. They bring their wives and their kids up there. So they probably came down to, for whatever reason, saw him. Or maybe somebody saw a chance to get some money. Like, hey, they're giving 10,000 pesos if I tell them where a foreigner lives or whatever. Matt Bassett says, I just left Memphis and felt safe, but there are places in the city you don't want to go. Educate yourself on your environment. Foreign countries are no different. Yeah, this is just common sense, man. But we come over here and we lose our minds, Matt. This is why I called this, had this live stream today. It's all about women over here. We give them all our money. We give them all our time, all our attention. We don't pay attention to anything else. We've let our guards down. And we become vulnerable. Okay? I hope it has nothing to do. The news, the paper today, if you go into Cebu Star, it says that midterm elections are coming next year. And they normally see a spike in kidnappings around that time because rogue politicians need money to fund their campaigns, man. You know, this is stuff that we need to know. But all you doing is chasing some woman. You know, I mean, it just tripped me out, man. I didn't even respond to the guy. The guy was kidnapped less than an hour from him. Not far from him. But he says, oh, I keep a low profile and my neighbors look after me. Don't you think his neighbors looked after him? What they gonna do, man? 4 guys show up in all black with M16s. What your neighbors gonna do? Greetings, everyone. He says, I gotta mention, I feel bad about that young man. Hope he makes it out to safety. Yeah. Jacob Tanjay said it was on the NBC News tonight. Yeah, it's going to be in the next few days or so. There's going to be a ransom request. Okay. But just go and look at his channel. It's Elliot Eastman. He's just a regular guy that you would see. He's from Vermont, 26. And he just, you know, he just makes videos that a 26-year-old would make. You know, there's no substance or anything to him. One time he's just sitting there in front of his sorry store at the, I guess it would be the counter, you know, just sitting there. That's all he was doing. And one time he did say that he had loaned one of the neighbors some money. So he was loaning money, evidently. He said he loaned the man $21,000. They paid him back $23,500. Sound like 5-6 to me. And a lot of that goes on. Okay. Carl said, that's the dude that sold me that mat. Family found you. I want my money back. Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about, guys. Get him off of here because we don't have time for that. Darla Mace is kidnapped. I'm fighting to my last breath, man. Well, that's what, when the German, who was beheaded, by the way, when his wife, when they came up on their boat, she fought. They killed her right away. She's like, well, y'all gonna kill me anyway. You guys gonna kill me, now I'm fighting for man. But the man went. And when, of course, the German government and his family couldn't come up with that ridiculous amount of money they're asking for ridiculous amounts of money. Okay? They cut his head off. Same as they did with those 2 Canadians. But y'all think, oh, I can just walk around here. I'm Christopher Columbus. I'm the, you know, the reincarnation of Magellan. You ain't shit. You at the mercy of these good people over here. That's the only reason why there's more people don't get killed and robbed and kidnapped, because Filipinos are genuinely good people. You're welcome over here. But you can let your guard down. You can get stupid. Okay. Alex G says in one of the articles, it said he was scammed by another woman from the area. Maybe that woman set him up. Nobody set him up, man. He had been there for a while. Why did they wait that long? Word got out that he was there. He was walking all around like, you know, like he was at home. He was at home. He was living with his wife. But to his credit, he knew the trouble he was in. He was talking about it on his videos. He said when he first got there, you know, this video was a month ago. He said it was talk that his neighbors were going to kidnap him for ransom. And I don't know if he was just joking or was he serious. But if he was serious, I'd have left out of there. LB said they warned us. We don't listen, though. We think we know more than the government. And then we'll say something like I used to say when I was in the military. Oh, they always don't want you to go to the funnest places. You know, they always tell you don't go there. Like when we went to Brazil, they said, don't go to Copacabana and all that, right? Which they knew what they were talking about. But we went anyway, and because nothing happened to us, then all the government don't know what they're talking about. And that's what happens over here. He said, I went to some club before I knew what it was, and I can get how those places don't look dangerous from a distance. Now, where this guy lived, I mean, he lived in like a, you know, one of them, almost like a squatter's area just right by the ocean. There's nowhere I would live. Even if it was safe, I wouldn't live. He was living like a local, TJ. I mean, really with the, you know, they didn't have, I mean, he, you know, they're cooking in the fire, the charcoal and wood and all that. And it was pretty primitive how he was living. This guy, if he had money, he was hiding it pretty good. All they saw was that white skin. See, that's all they saw, man. He says, aren't Filipino people a British U.S. territory? Come on, man. You know that's not true. He said, I don't even trust my neighbors. Yeah. He said, what are the chances of that young fellow making it back with his life? Slim to none. Because they're not going to pay that ridiculous ransom. They're going to ask something stupid, man. They're going to ask something like 600, like 300 million pesos or something stupid like that. 500 million pesos or something. You know, they're going to ask something ridiculous, and they're not going to pay it unless he escapes. Remember, they shot him in his leg with an M16, so he's probably going to lose his leg. He said, hopefully the kidnappers show some kind of mercy. Come on, man. But see, I'm glad you said that because this is the sort of thinking we bring to the Philippines, that sort of naive thinking, Tim. That's why, you know, we give women all our money and we end up in these jackpot situations. We think we're still in America. Kidnappers have some type of mercy. Man, they're cutting people's heads off over here. The people that took him more likely are the same people who will cut your head off with a dull knife, man. Okay, for a while, the videos were still on YouTube. YouTube took them down. I saw the one where the guy from Germany got his head cut off. I mean, the guy just sitting there, you know, with a dull knife, man, and, you know, cut the man. It ain't show him no mercy. Yeah, they're not gonna give up their country to nobody. He said, my blonde-haired, blue-eyed nephew is hooked up with a woman there who he met on a dating site, and more than likely nothing's gonna happen to him unless he's down there in that area. He said, what's his channel? It's just Elliot, Elliott, Eastman. Eastman. You'll see him. He's just a regular looking guy, you know, look like he's down there, you know, at 26, you know, to be able to be, I don't know if he was, he said he had been to the Philippines a few times, so I don't think he was living here permanent. I think he was doing long stretches of time. But they, according to the police, this woman, she was a spokesman, she was a lieutenant colonel. She said he had been in the area for 5 months. According to them, he had no job. He had no, you know, profession or anything, no business or anything. He was just basically there. He said, what time's the travel? I said, Cal, this hit home. My dumb ass was in Baguio at night wandering around looking for condoms. I was walking up a dark street. A local yelled at me, told me, sir, don't walk up there this time of night. Yeah, we think we're at home. Yeah, he said, you feel more invincible at that age. But he talked about it. That's the crazy thing about it, man. And I don't know if he was just doing it to get views, you know, because they talk about the red zone. Okay, because I lived on and off in Zamboanga. That's the red zone too. But I felt more comfortable because I'm out in the open, really. Not saying that they couldn't have set off a bomb at the cafeteria like they've done before, but I'm just saying with all those witnesses around, I didn't think they were going to kidnap me in broad daylight. But this guy was in the province, man. What's up, Austin in Mississippi? He said, Beach of Life said, y'all know y'all can search specific areas on the dating sites, right? Like you can search only Luzon or Visayas, right? Why people even looking in Zambo? Because they're not using the search Beach of Life. Go back on my video when I was talking about how I met my girlfriend. This is what I'm telling them. There's no reason for you even be on the dating site. You're not going to use the filter. That's going to help you. You know. But I'm only going to go by the news reports and the police. I'm not going to go by what I heard about him coming over here. I didn't read that. And he was scammed and all that. But I do know he was married to a young Muslim woman. And so evidently they lived in the Muslim community, which means absolutely nothing. Other than the fact that these so-called armed groups or terrorists, they profess to be Muslim. But hell, it doesn't mean anything, guys, okay? Like I said, most of the people in my squatter area were Muslims. I never had a problem with them. Some of my best friends at home in America, you know, study Islam. It means nothing. Harry Schroeder said, damn, I can't eat my dinner now. I'm scared to death of my fellow American. Yeah. He says, really, anywhere in the Philippines you can get caught. Yeah, you're right, but some areas are more dangerous than others. That's what it says on here. It says a level 2, exercise extreme caution due to crime, terrorism, civil unrest, and kidnapping. Some areas have increased risk. That's exactly right. He said, I came in now. What about dangers when you know you have been lied to by your girlfriend? Yeah, well, then it's time to get out of there. Okay? Do you really think that someone's going to tell you that their area is extremely dangerous? She wants you to meet the family. Okay? The odds are if you go there for one day and get the hell out of there, you may be okay. Okay? But more than likely, people, they stay over there. Hey, Austin in Mississippi, thanks for that super sticker. He was there for 5 months. People know you're there. That's their business. No, they didn't kidnap a Muslim. He's not a Muslim. Now, he may have converted, but they're not looking at that. They're looking at his skin color. He's a foreigner to them. He says, my Filipino wife doesn't even want me to go into the mountains in Cebu because she's worried about kidnappers. Well, a lot of times, man, this is where they go out and hide, in the mountains. You know, that's where they are up there. When I met my son's mother and I went up there, the people stopped doing everything they were doing on the way up to look at me. And yeah, there was NPA up there. But NPA typically doesn't bother you. They're not going to kidnap you. Okay? Merlin said that this kidnapping may have to do something with, they're trying to get the government's attention again. Maybe they want some concession some kind of way. whatever it is, this young man has been kidnapped, man. He's probably scared to death. Hopefully he's still alive. Excuse me. But he's in serious, serious danger, man. It's no time to be playing and, you know, with all the immature stuff, man. Take that off the live stream. Take it out of my comments, man. You guys are unthinking. Just because you're not over here. A bunch of armchair bros. Bella Park said, my aunt and her brother were kidnapped by Abu Sayyaf. They cut her brother's head and threw it in the market. My aunt and others got away by crawling 6 kilometers. Don't underestimate Mindanao. But that's what we do. We would go anywhere chasing some woman over here. It's time y'all wake up, man. Javier says, be safe out there, y'all. Keep doing good work, Mr. Sunshine Shoulders. Thank you. But they're not listening to me. They're not going to listen to me. I've been on here for 4 years, man. People are still giving away their life-saving, you know, still getting scammed, still getting their heart broke and everything else. Now this man done got kidnapped. They're not listening. But I can't really expect them to. They're grown men. They're grown-ass men. He said, I was just watching Elliot Eastman's last live and saw you alive. Yeah. Good morning. Yeah, but I decided yesterday, Michael Beach Your Life sent me the link first. But then another guy up in Angeles City sent me the link. I clicked on it, man. I mean, my heart about jumped out of my chest. I don't like, you know, getting that kind of news, man, because I can just imagine. I've watched so many documentaries, man, on you know, kidnappings and stuff over here. It just start bringing up stuff, man. I just know this guy is in serious, serious danger. So I said, let me do a short video to just let everybody know it happened. My viewers and subscribers. That's my responsibility, especially the ones who are over here right now. And then do a live stream. Is to talk about this stuff, to kind of, you know, shake people awake, because we've fallen asleep, Jim, over here. We've let our guard down. We walk around like we're at home, like we own the place, like there's nobody here that doesn't want us here, which is it's not true, guys. You're not welcome. Everybody doesn't want you here. Hey, the Globe Spinner, thanks for that super chat. He said, I was warned not to travel to South Philippines before I came in July. Only visited Manila, Quezon City, and Barangay. In Boracay. And man, that was a good strategy of yours. Okay? I mean, real talk, man, because we ignore the warnings, Globe Spinner, and that's the problem. We ignore the warnings. We think we know more. We think the vloggers know more. Because that's what they're saying. All the vloggers said it's safe. Well, why would you put your life in the hands of a vlogger? A lot of what you see, you don't understand, all vloggers aren't the same. You've got vacation vloggers, and then you got expat vloggers, guys. You got to be able to tell them apart. When you see somebody going from city to city, island to island and all that, that's a vacation vlogger. That's not going to be your life over here if you come over here as an expat. Okay? I'm sorry, it's not. They make it seem so much more exciting, so much more fun. Yeah, if you can do that, you can afford to do that, but most of us are going to be stuck in one place. We may be able to go to the beach or whatever it is every so often, a different island, but for the most part, if you're in Cebu, you're going to be in Cebu. But you have to know the difference. We're not all the same. Because some people are like, well, why do you always just sit around talking? Yeah, because I'm telling you what life is really like over here. I'm not a vacation vlog. I'm not globe trotting around the Philippines. And neither will you if you come to live here. I tell you what your life's really going to be like. If you listen to the expat vloggers, you're going to get a lot more information from somebody that's only going to be in San Carlos City a week, then in Cebu a week. They're not giving you the right information, guys. They don't know anything about crime and all that stuff, okay? But if the government says exercise extreme caution when you're in the Philippines due to crime, terrorism, civil unrest, and kidnapping, and you don't listen to it, that's on you. That's on your ass. Hey, Nathan, good morning. He said, I laughed my ass off south of CDO. It's damn near all of Minden now. Can y'all ever have a measured response to like literally anything this man tells you? Yeah, they it's just crazy, man, okay? He said, the globe spinner, how long was you in the Philippines? Relaxation time. Said, dude, don't give your location. Yeah, you're right. But you know, here's the thing. And this is what I was telling Marilyn when that guy said, oh, I keep a low profile and my neighbors are going to look after me. Guys, look, if the bad guys want you, there's nothing you can do about it. Okay? You don't have to make it easier for them, but there's nothing you can do. You can't own weapons over here. He didn't have a weapon. He didn't have no chance in hell. He resisted and they shot him to let him know, look, man, we're not playing. Get in this damn boat. And now you're going to go way out, you know, in the South Sulu Sea in the jungle, you know. He said, what do you mean they don't give you a bodyguard? The State Department is involved when U.S. citizens are victims. He said, Cal, do you think most of your followers in the Philippines are in the U.S.? In the U.S. And that's because YouTube tells me they are. I know they are anyway. The overwhelming majority. About 70 some odd % of the people watching me are over in America. That's why I tell you all the time, there's the armchair bros, the plantation bros. Although we go back and forth with them, they're the ones who finance this Philippine genre and most genre around the world. They're not traveling. They're just sitting there watching. But it's shocking to me that you don't have these big-time Filipino vloggers talking about that. See, y'all got to come to us when it's time for the real stuff. Okay? I shouldn't be telling you this. Okay, they probably know more about the kidnapping and the Abu Sayyaf and all these armed groups and everything than I do. But they're smart. They know all y'all want to talk about is booty. That you show a few skin and all of that and just shallow stuff, man. There's a difference. All vloggers aren't the same, man. And once y'all figure that out, you're going to be okay. You're going to be able to go from channel to channel to channel. If you want real stuff, oh, let's go to Sunshine Shows. If I want a skin show, I'm going to Blase channel. If I want to travel, I'm going to go here. Or whatever it is. You got to distinguish, man. Y'all put us all in one bucket, man. We're not the same, guys. Edwin CV says, hey, Cal, thanks for looking out for your friends. Keeping your guard up is a must. Or be sorry. See, this is what an expat vlogger like me can tell you. Because I'm sitting here, I see y'all in action. We've let our guard down. We walk around here like we literally own this place, like we're at home. We don't have a care in the world. We can't speak the language. You don't know when you're being set up and when you're not. I'm pretty sure the people who kidnapped him and had something to do with it were probably around him talking. Okay? But he can't understand them. He didn't understand them to get out of there. Hey, Confident Boy Speaks, thanks for that super chat. He said, terrorists do not care if you are the same religion as them. It's not about the religion, it's about money and power. Try to stay away from the red area, fellas. Man, say that again. This guy says, he knows it's not true. You know that man's not a Muslim unless he converted to marry his wife, which I don't know. It doesn't say. It didn't say that. They called him an American national. He says it. He tells you, I'm Elliot Eastman from Burma. I'm 26 years old. He just looks like, I've got a daughter his age. And he acts like my daughter. That's what my daughter's YouTube channel would look like. You know, it's really nothing, man. He's just, most of the time, the camera's on him. He's trying to show his chest and his abs. You know, he's just 26. But there is times when he talks about kidnapping. There's times when he comes to the road and he ducks down and hides. When he hears the motorcycles, he sends his wife ahead. And then he's speaking like in whispers. He said, I got to have right here, this might be the kidnappers. Surely he wasn't playing. Yeah, above it all. He says, Gnostic Meek, he says he doesn't have money. He wanted to come back to the States and work to send money back. His wife has a small sorry store and peso Wi-Fi business. Yeah, this is coming from the other channel. No, I watched the channel, it's true. But he doesn't have no money. He was lending money though. He said he lent one of their neighbors $21,000 and got back $23,500. I heard that from his own mouth. But okay, when you first see the sorry store, it's like every other sorry store. He's got it stocked. It's looking good. But then on another video, it's all gone. It's like, well, where's your stock? Are you going to restock? Or did y'all eat everything? Probably they ate everything. Because there's nobody there really to buy the stuff. It's like you're in the wrong place to have a sorry store and it's facing the ocean. You got to have a lot of traffic coming across there to even see that you're there. This is a mistake a lot of people make over here with sorry stores. They're in the wrong location. So first time I saw him on his video, he says, I opened up a store in the most dangerous area of the Philippines. That was the name of the video. So he knew where he was. Whether he was doing that for clicks, I don't know, but that was the title. It's stocked up real nice and he's going down showing you what he's got. But then on another video, live, you can see he's sitting right in front of the sorry store. I'm like, damn, everything's gone. Either he's got a thriving business and he's waiting to restock, or like most people over here, they eat up all the stock. But he don't have no money. I mean, not money, where they want to, they kidnapped him for his money. They're going to make a statement. Now, they're going to make a big statement now because they know you kidnap an American, it's going to get much more news than if you kidnap anybody else. Just because of the mainstream media and how infatuated we are with bad news and violence and shock and all in America. They're going to run that loop. It's going to be on a loop. Some guy, and you can look in my comments, this is what he said. He said, Calvin, it may have something to do with, you see, Israel killed one of those Hamas leaders. And I'm thinking, dude, you got your own opinion. I mean, but that's what he said. And, sometimes he said, those extremist groups, they work like that. They'll say, okay, an eye for an eye. I don't buy that. But he could be true. I don't buy it. You say he wasn't surprised by this. Well, he was surprised that they showed up at his house. Yeah, because he tried to resist, but he talked about it. But if you hear him talk about it, you're saying, well, is he just talking about this, just to, how, if you say I'm living in the scariest or the most dangerous part of the Philippines, people are going to click on it. Was he saying it for that, or did he really know where he was? I don't know. King B. Stacker says, I can't wait to return to the Philippines Calvin's videos changed my whole course in life. I'll be returning for my second trip on the 27th. I already got my Airbnb set up. I'm so freaking hyped. Man, I know you are, man. It's been over a year since you've been here. You came to my meet and greet in, was that May or somewhere? July, something in Cebu, in Lapu-Lapu. You, your girlfriend, and your son. And then I think you stayed, what, a couple of months? So you left like September of last year. I know your nuts is on fire. Hey, Michael Onstad, thanks for that super sticker. This is the resident insurance agent for healthcare. Y'all see that how important I think it is. I've been pushing y'all to get with Michael Onstad. I'll put it in my description on my videos, and I'll put it on the description on this one. But all his information is in there. I'm retired, guys. I promise you. I'm retired. But Mike's not. He's going strong. I missed him in Dumageddon. But yeah, if you want health insurance or information on health insurance, how much you need, how much it's going to cost, what it covers and all that, Michael Onstad. I believe his Facebook page is Healthcare in the Philippines. Is that what it is, Michael? He says, only come here for the GP or a quick weekend. Oh, you only came here. So maybe I just hadn't run into it until last night. He says, some of the poorest areas in the Philippines are in the red zone area. There's no tourism activity over there. That's very sad. Their economies are hurting. Yeah, you're right about that. Even though he lived right on the beach was not the typical, I mean, it was beautiful now, the view, but the beach, you know, it was filthy. But you're right about that. You're right about that. You're absolutely right about that. You just have to know where you're going when you come over here. Don't be like me, man. I knew not to go to Manila, but that was it. That's all I knew about the Philippines was Manila. When I saw Cebu and I was like, oh, I can fly in Cebu. I bought my ticket for Cebu. I knew nothing about Manila. I mean, I knew nothing about the Philippines. I could have flown into Baziland. I didn't really do any reading about the Philippines. I was in a damn chat room 1 or 2 days. That was it. He said, don't lend or borrow money. Right. Now, I was telling Merle, I said, because I think the same guy that paid them back, I think he eventually gave the guy 35,000 pesos. I'm thinking, I told Merle, I said, well, maybe the guy got it, you know, set him up instead of paying the 35,000 back. Don't put that past people, man, over here. It says, when was the last paid ransom? How much was it in what year? Well, they don't tell you that information. They don't tell you that. All I know is, okay, back in, let me see. I want to say, and you can go on YouTube, Filipina and her Phil Am's son were kidnapped. Okay, they paid the ransom. She was released, but they didn't release him. He escaped, but they never tell you how much ransom it was. Okay, same with the Norwegian guy. They don't tell you. They'll come out with some crazy figure. And then, you know, you're going to have people negotiating back and forth. And, you know, I guess the American man, he paid to have his Filipino wife released. You know, and when the guy said, hey, maybe they can have some sympathy, they do have sympathy for Filipinos because they know they don't have any money and they know they don't have any skins in the game. That's why they let the woman go. They got kidnapped with those foreigners on Samoa Island. They didn't ask for anything for her. Golden Gate. He said foreigners are not allowed to buy land and fields, but you can buy a condo, but some want to buy anything. Yeah, but there's ways around that. See, come over and talk to a lawyer. Okay, you could set it up like a business. Biero Gano says where she'll own 60%, you own 40. At least you own 40. So there's ways around that. A trust. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to practice Filipino law without a license, but you can get around that. There's things you can do, but you probably don't own land in your own country. The people who are worried about that, guys, they don't own land in their own country. Because when they come over here and they say, I can get a piece of land for $10,000, why are they worried about owning the land when it only costs $10,000 or $5,000 or whatever it is? They're not worried about it. Why would you worry about that? Don't invest anything that you can't walk away from over here is all I'm saying. But to keep on talking about, you can't own land, who worries about that? But people who aren't going to buy any land and are going to invest in land. Okay? Man, there's land over here. Merlin, before we built this house, Merlin's auntie was selling a piece of land in Salamban, Cebu, not far from Toledo, for 50,000 pesos. It was a 100 square meter lot. Okay? Now, if I would have bought that, do you think I'm going to sit around and worry about whether I can own it or not? Hey, King B. Stacker, thanks for that super chat. He said July was a meet and greet. And yeah, I can't wait to get him wet again after almost 14 months. The tune-up is much needed. LDR is the hardest thing I've ever done. Now, I'm glad you can say that because, this guy is a real deal. So when he says that LDR is the hardest thing he's ever done, I tell you, don't do it. You got to take his word for it, man. This man's been away from his woman for 14 months. Now, imagine why he's here. The treatment he's getting. He'll tell you. Okay, because when they're into you, man. You're not going to get treated any better than that. And now to go back home and think, I'll be back in 90 days or 30 days or whatever it was, and something happened to King B. Stack over there. He couldn't get back. Now you got is those dreams, man. That would kill me, man. That would kill me. I couldn't do it. He said, how's the Dipolo area? Well, I've never lived there. I've been there several times. And if you listen to the Filipino bloggers that are there, they'll tell you it's nice. And for the most part, man, it is. You know what I'm saying? I had a guy that stayed in my guest house. He lived there. Now he lives in Butuan. And he said he liked it there. As a matter of fact, he said he's going back. But it's Mindanao. It's Mindanao. Okay? And you always got to have that in the back of your mind. Okay? That it's Mindanao. And they said, reconsider travel to other areas of Mindanao. It says, don't travel to the Sulu archipelago. Basilan, Holo, Sulu, Tawi, down, really some areas, you guys are tripping you better do your research about Palawan. At one time, the United States had SEALs down there, and it got so bad. Okay? Because that's on the South Sulu Sea. And a lot of the high-profile kidnappings happened in Palawan. But these are people, you get these resorts right by the ocean. Don't do that. Okay? And then people sailing around the world, they dock their yacht or whatever, they sail boat, boom. That's what happened to the Canadian and his Filipino girlfriend. He got up around midnight because it's pitch black out there on that water. You can't see anything. To make some popcorn and made the big mistake. He cut the light on. So now they can see him. So his neighbor who was in a boat too, also from Canada, He heard the commotion and went over there and tried to save him. And they kidnapped him too. But that was Somal, but it's right on the water, man, you know. But yeah, DePola, he said, DePola is pushing your luck, in my opinion. Yeah, you got to be careful, man. You got to know where you're going. And I wouldn't stay, if I'm only on vacation, I'm not going to stay there for a long time. Even though they've got a nice resort there, the Cock. Alex G says it's on all the major newspapers, including the New York Times. Yeah, they know what they were doing when they got that American. They're going to get all the press that they want now. They're going to, man, they're going to get everything out of this that they possibly can. They're going to squeeze this, man. The ransom's going to be ridiculous, you know. They'll probably have showing him like they were doing the other ones with the damn knife on his throat. You know, it's a time, man. This live stream is timely, man. I'm not on here because, it's a game. I could have waited till Sunday like I normally do. But it's very important, man, that we wake up when it comes to traveling around the world. We get too comfortable. And, you know, when you're in the Philippines, you have a tendency to do that because they're so hospitable. They make you feel so welcome. And the next thing you know, he's like, well, what am I even worried about? Here this guy was living in a squatters area right by the ocean, down in the red zone, among the people who do that, who have been tagged with doing the kidnappings. Now, I'm not talking about Muslims because, you know, Christians give me more problems than Muslims, okay? But the people who profess to be Muslims are the ones who commit those kidnappings. I mean, he was, you know, I never blame the victim, man. It's just that he let his guard down. You know, he had been there, they said 5 months. And, you know, by that time, he probably started feeling more and more comfortable. Well, but you can't speak the language. You don't know what they're talking about right next door, right outside your front door. They're saying, hey, here's where he lives. You ain't gonna know. I was just talking about that on my last live stream about when we take Filipinos over to our country. They have a mission. They're on a mission. And you're sitting at the kitchen table and they're talking right in front of you about what her mission is, what they expect from her. What it is she's going to do over there, you have no clue because you can't understand Tagalog, Visayan, Ilonggo, Chavacano, and all those other languages. So it's the same as being set up over here. We're at their mercy, man, really. When you can't understand the language, man, you're at the people's mercy. It's just they're good people. He says, I've been here 7 years, came on vacation and never left. And that's the typical story, man, you know, but when things like this happen, Richard, we can't brush it off and say, oh, it's nothing. I've been here 7 years. This was a setback for the expat community. Okay, I'm taking it right out of my comments. That's what the guy said. Mr. something, I can't think of his name. He said, man, this is a setback to the expat community. It is. Okay? But maybe some good can come out of it. Maybe it'll wake some of you guys up. You know, maybe you may rethink where you want to live, whatever you want to live in the Philippines. Oh, well, let's see, I've been here 6 months. I'm doing okay. Well, maybe your time is running out. Okay, you just never know. I tell the guy, hey, man, that happened not far from you. I keep a low profile and my neighbors look after me. Okay. Okay, Michael Onstad says health insurance in the Philippines. Thank you. He said they would get more kidnapping British expat. Nah, sorry. Man, all those Western, listen. all these Western countries, man, they're on that same mantra. Oh, we don't negotiate with terrorists. It's a talking point that costs people their lives. Okay, but at the same time, if they started negotiating and paying these people, more kidnappings would happen. Okay, but no. And remember, here's this fact, Frank Ellis. This is a fact. When they see a white man over here, they think they're all American. Okay, I've only been with Maryland a little bit over almost 5.5 years. Okay, they can't tell them apart. They think they're all American. So it's not like the Abu Sayyaf is going to go around asking the terror groups or the armed groups, are you American or British? No, they're not going to do that. Okay, they're not going to get more because they're not going to pay anything. He said, what is he talking about, the red zone? Just the danger zone. Usually when you see red, stop. Warning. Yeah, the red zone. That's what that means, John Henry. The danger zone where the United States tells you don't go there. It says do not travel to the Sulu Archipelago, Marawi, Baziland, Holo Sulu, Tawi. Then it says reconsider travel to other areas of Mindanao. So you've already made up your mind. They're saying reconsider that, dude. Do you know where you're going? But we'll be like Richard first. He's on here. He's been in 7 years. No problem. Okay. The government doesn't know what they're talking about. And to be honest with you, man, most of us are never going to have an incident here. But that doesn't mean you got to let your guard down. That doesn't mean you got to take precautions. You do. But we do the opposite. We get comfortable over here, man. Hey, TJ says Calvin made a whole list of safe cities for you goofballs to go to. Did you hear any small towns on that list? If you're scared, stick to those spots. Thank you, man, for reminding me of the expat alley. This is why I tell guys when you first come to the Philippines, it's best to stick to those places. Angeles City, Metro Manila, Cebu City, Cagayan de Oro, Dumaguete, Davao, General Santos, Butuan. See, did I say Cagayan de Oro? Cagayan de Oro. That expat alley, guys, where you're saved, basically. And you can get your feet wet. There's no San Carlos City on there. Because that's not a good landing spot. This is a place when you're seasoned. You remember when I moved here, I'd been here and coming to the Philippines for 10 years before I moved to San Carlos City. So thank you, TJ, for reminding me. This is why I say that. But guys want to rush to the province. Like, dude, you're a sitting duck in that province. If somebody wants to put their hands on you, it's done. The last American that I remember dying in the province, they still don't know what happened. The family said he committed suicide. Well, that's their word. He don't have a word. He's dead. You're going to stick out like a sore thumb. Nothing that you're used to having is going to be there. Man, but we do everything opposite. If that woman says, "Oh, come over here, it's going to be safe." Meanwhile, she got her legs wide open. That's all you focused on. You don't see the bad guys right next to her. Your focus is on the bush. He said, Cal's the guy that got the kidnapped named Elliot Eastman. Yeah. He's topless in a lot of his videos. Yeah, and mostly all of them. That's what I'm saying. He's 26 and he makes videos like a 26-year-old, I guess, is living in that area. It's hot. There's no aircon where he's living. I mean, this guy he's living probably on about $500 a month. Okay. He's not living on much more than that. So it's possible, But I told Marilyn, I'm not going to live like that under no circumstances. Even if it's safe, I'm not living like that. Okay? Give me some, you know, modern utilities and, you know, cooking utensils and all that. Now, I'm not living like that. Okay, everything is made out of plywood. Everything is plywood. The bed, the chairs, everything. The house. No. But yeah, he just walks around with the camera, mostly showing his, you know, his torso, this part. You'll see.
But he's just only 26 years old.
Yeah, he's 26.
You don't know nothing, especially.
Because he, you know, he made a strange remark. He's like, I wonder how these videos get so many views. And somebody took notice of it and put in his comments, said, man, you're going to find out because his channel is going to blow up now. See, that's the smart thing. If he's ever, you know, when he's, I'm going to keep it positive. When he's rescued, he'll have money, man, because his channel is going to blow up. People want to know who this guy is. So that's another reason. That's another good reason to make a YouTube channel. Now imagine if he didn't make that YouTube channel. See, that may help in his rescue. Okay, it certainly, you know, quenches our, you know, we're curious. It quenches our curiosity. Who is this guy? He's got like 500 something videos. So, you know, he's going to get support. You know, at least people know he's a real person. Because if not, they're not going to show you any pictures of him until the bad guys make a video with them with the knife at his throat. He said, also, I'm hurt because I've been holding back my N-word uses on live, and Calvin let bro use my whole quota for a month in one chat. Yeah, he's funny, man. But, you know, you can't control those live. That's why they call them live streams, man. It's unrehearsed, unscripted. I was shocked that YouTube let all that go, man. He let it all hang out on that. He said, Cal's the best and not full of shit like all the other vloggers. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate your opinion, but I'm just, you know, I'm an expat vlogger, man. I'm not a vacation vlogger. So, you know, because guys like, man, why don't you take more trips and all that? I said, man, you're not going to learn anything. I said, why would I do that when there's 1,000 other channels already doing that for you? You got to learn to distinguish the channels from each other and what you want. If you really want to see women and worry about women all the time, then watch the Filipino vloggers. You're going to get all of that. If you want life how it really is over here, watch an expat vlogger. That's why we talk about the things we talk about. If you want to travel and, you know, want to know the tourist destination, watch one of these vacation vloggers with all the fancy equipment and all that, the drones and all that. They give you everything you need, man. You know, it's a smorgasbord. Take what you want and leave the rest. What's up, Alpino? He said they used to do this in Mexico all the time. Kidnap a foreigner, then drive him to an ATM multiple times until his bank account was drained. Yeah, but where he was, man, there was no ATMs there. He lived, man, in a place where it wasn't far from Zamboanga because some of his videos, he's shopping in Zamboanga. He's right on the edge of Zamboanga, but that's not saying anything, man. When I was living there on and off, they told me specifically, there's nice beaches there I couldn't go to. You can't go there. So there's a lot of places I couldn't go, so I stayed basically in the city proper. I go to the malls, go to the movie, go to the market right down the street, the grocery store, and that's it, and back to the squatter area. He's in the province, man. It gets dark at night. There's no street lights. He's right by the ocean. At some point, they were going to know he was there. Nobody had to set him up. At some point, they're going to know, hey, he's there. We got an easy getaway. I mean, his front yard was literally the beach and the ocean. They simply drug him to the boat, took off. Mickey Free says, mate, you're right. No, they will not listen until it's too late. I lived in Cataduncas in 2003 and from time to time 2017. So maybe 6 years, but I got to know some of the NPA need help, you know. He said, for me, all the Philippines is a red zone, keeps me on my personal alert. Well, you got something there, really. You got something there, you know, but if we would just read the travel advisories from our countries, they're trying to help you. They're not trying to put the Philippines down. They're just giving you information, looking out for their citizens. Same way Filipinos do when they won't let you take that girl out of the country. They put you through the ringer and ask you all them questions because they know you don't know how serious human trafficking and sex trafficking is in the Philippines, but they know. It's their job to know. That's why they do it. I was watching a video, American lady got caught trying to take a Filipino baby 6 days old out of the country. Now she gonna have him in a sling, no paperwork, no nothing. She's from Utah. She's just gonna come over here, pay the mother, bought the baby, and then just gonna take him back on the plane. But the crazy thing is, the lady got through immigration. It was when she was trying to get on the Delta flight is when they stopped her. You know, she had made it through immigration with a whole baby. And now she's facing a life sentence because now, not only are they putting the human trafficking, they done slapped a kidnapping charge on her. Because I guess the woman said she didn't pay me or whatever it was, but they slapped her with kidnapping now. Hey, Eric Powell, thanks for the super chat. He says, do you remember the show called 15 years ago called Locked Up Abroad? Absolutely. They had an episode just like this. Yeah, what are you talking about? The kidnapping, the human trafficking, or the kidnapping of the American? Hey, Lawrence, thanks for that super chat. He says, Cal, thanks for the sharing the info on the areas to avoid. Yeah, you can easily get caught up, man, you know, over here. For the most part, for me, man, the Philippines has been safe. That's why I'm still here. But I don't drop my guard, man. Remember, guys, when it's dark, you can ask Maryland, I'm in the house. If it gets dark at 6:30, you know, I live a simple life, man. Some people would even consider it boring, but I do all my stuff in the daytime. I don't care where I am. At night, I'm in the house. You know, nothing happens good after midnight. I already know I can't own a weapon, really, you know, that's going to help me against a damn M16. I know the people I'm around, you know, most of the time I'm with Maryland, you know, because I can't understand the language. I don't know what's going on. What saved me is Filipino people are really good. That's the only thing that saves all of us. Because when you're in a country and when you're in a place where you can't understand the language, man, you're at a grave disadvantage, man. What could you do? You're not going to know where it's coming from. They're plotting against you. How you going to know? They say, yeah, you know, here I am. I'm looking at it right now. Go ahead. You know, you're sitting right across from the people and you're talking and they're telling the man, yeah, go ahead, shoot him in the back of the head right now. You're not going to know the move. But if from time to time, we have to talk about this stuff. He said, exactly. I don't want no one kidnapping my big brother. Talk to him, Mike. He said, at the 2-minute warning, just hand the ball off, dummy. He says, if you are in the fourth quarter, no reason to go into the no-go zone. Man, he said, it's like being a 45-year-old quarterback doing a quarterback sneak at the goal line, expecting to live through that car crash. You know, it makes a lot of sense, man. I don't think we should take those kind of chances either, Michael. I mean, because there's so much more to see in the Philippines. There's so much more places you can go where you can be relatively safe. Why go into a place where your government says don't go? It didn't say don't travel to Cebu City. It didn't say reconsider travel to Manila. It says do not travel to the Sulu Archipelago. Reconsider travel to other areas of Mindanao. That means all areas of Mindanao. They know more than we know. You know, that's all I'm saying. He said, Calvin, you give real life advice to men no matter where they are located. Much appreciated. Hey, thank you, man, because I live a real life, retired 2019. That's the only way I know how to live it. So, but they want to throw me in with all the rest of them. There are guys who, you know, sugarcoat the Philippines, but only because that's all they see is the good. They go from one good spot to the other. They're not trying to fool anybody, but they're not going to say all expats, all vloggers sugarcoat the Philippines. We're different. We have different vlogs, man. You know, you can't put us all in one basket. He said, Mark convinced me I won't be coming over there. God bless you and your family. Mark who? Eric Powell says, American kidnapping. He said, doing great, Victoria. Any day above ground is a good day. Right. He said, you won't see Jasper in a muscle shirt on camera. He said, the Department of State is mostly full of S. He said, I worked for them as third-party security contractor for 4 years. I don't know. They were right about this guy, Saran, a lot. Okay, you don't see anybody getting kidnapped in Cebu, not Americans. You're Chinese, you know, and Koreans. A lot of it has to do with gambling and gambling debts and stuff. But I can't agree with you on that, man. They know more. Look, guys, I'm gonna tell you something. Look it up if you don't believe me. In 2011, the United States sent Navy SEALs to Palawan, man. Shit was so bad. The threat was so credible. Okay, because remember, that's where a lot of the high-profile kidnapping started. Okay, also, they broke up a kidnap operation in Bohol, believe it or not, because we're unsuspecting. They had set up, the Abu Sayyaf had plans to set up in Bohol or somewhere around Panglao, Bohol, and start kidnapping foreign tourists from there. But Philippine intelligence, working with U.S. intelligence, broke that up, guys. Y'all better start reading. Y'all better start listening to this stuff, man. This stuff is true. It's credible. They're not full of shit, man. This is real life stuff that they broke that up because we're walking around like, oh, it's no big deal. You can't tell the bad guys from the good guys. They look the same. Okay, they look the same over here. Those are credible threats, man. They had Navy SEALs parading as regular tourists down in Palawan. You know, people was getting picked off like strawberries down there, man. They was having success. That's why they were doing it. Hey, Road to the Philippines, thanks for that super chat. He said, my Filipino frequently advises me not to go to certain areas, even within walking distance of our community. When your Filipino tells you not to go somewhere, you had better listen. Yeah, but Danny, man, I should read this again. I'm telling you, when I lived in Zamboanga, they told me, don't go here, don't go there. Okay, there's nice beaches down there I could not go to. And y'all know I'm a beach man. Nope. My movement was limited. My movement was limited in Zamboanga because they know where the bad guys are. They know who they are. You don't know who they are. But to say they don't know what they're talking about, that's I can't buy that one, man. Don't do that, Saran, a lot because, man, you get people in trouble. We're already doing it, though. Let me stop with that. We're already ignoring them. So what you're saying is not going to hurt anymore because we're already ignoring them. He said some guys think living in those areas and off the grid is exciting. Yeah. And, you know, they want to prove that they can live on $1,000 a month here. Well, he certainly was living on less than that. I guarantee you that young man was living on about $500 per month. The only money he was spending, was if he was loaning several people, because he said he was loaning money. He said he loaned a man $21,000. The man paid him back $23,500. Then he said he gave somebody $35,000. He said the U.S. is far more unsafe. Yeah, dumpster fire. And these countries, if you don't believe it, go on there, read their travel advisories about the United States and how I want to say Koreans and Japanese and Chinese certainly say avoid America at all costs. That's surprising, right? You're shocked, right? I know Angelo Habib is probably shocked, but they do. They tell their citizens, don't go to America. It's too dangerous. But America's not going to say that. Just like the Philippines is not going to say, don't come to the Philippines. Yeah, I hear you, Ron, a lot. He said, just being real, bro. Yeah, I hear you. Because, let me be honest. Let me be real. We're not listening to what the experts say anyway. It's all kind of us. I mean, we just had a meet and greet, but at least we were in Davao. But still, we're in Mindanao. He said the humanitarian said this video really opened up my eyes. I'm glad. Because all we talk about is women and dating. That woman can't save you. He was married to a nice looking little young Muslim woman. But remember at the end of the day, they're Filipinos first. But, this is what the news said. He married a Muslim woman and she wears the, hijab, is that how you pronounce it and everything? The traditional Muslim attire and all that. She couldn't save him. Your neighbors can't save you. Your woman can't save you. When those people show up with those guns like that, you're done. You better go along with them or just let them kill you right there. I think, look, here's where in America, what used to terrify me when I was growing up. You'd hear about a restaurant robbery or something where they make the employees lay down and then they shoot them all in the back of the head, right? And I used to say to myself, I'll be damned. You might as well just go on and shoot me now. I'm not going to lay down and let you shoot me in the back of my head. That's probably the same way if somebody showed up here to kidnap me. Go on and kill me, man, because you might as well kill me now. You're going to kill me, and I don't want to die like that. I want to die with a dull knife, going through my damn trachea. And I got to feel that. I'm going to feel that for about, I don't know how long before I'm going to die. I don't want that. He said, ain't no peck that effing far to be way the F down there out of bounds. But see, that's really his fault because, look, we have, one of the things of the unspoken agreement, okay, we're going to give these ladies at least a higher standard of living. He couldn't provide that. He had no choice. He had to live down there with her. What did I tell you last night? I said, this woman probably wondering, like, what kind of foreigner did I end up with? You know, that I'm literally living the same way I've always lived. Okay, no change at all. Okay, that was on him. He couldn't, you know, that was the only way he was going to be able to stay over here. The police said he wasn't working. He had no business. He had no profession. That's what the police said. Okay. Rio says, when I was stationed in South Korea, they told us not to go into certain areas. Yeah, I mean, but when I was in the service, we always took that as, okay, whatever the government tells you to do the opposite, because that's where all the fun is. But over here, you can't do that, man. You don't have the backing of the U.S. government anymore. They're not going to do anything for that young man. They're not going to pay that ransom, man. They're probably going to tell his family and everything like that. But they're not going to do anything. You know. Hey, Eric Powell, thanks for that super chat. He said, more importantly, and more than likely, the U.S. government is not going to do anything to save you either. I just said that. You literally took the words out of my mouth. You know, they're just not going to negotiate with terrorists, man, because that's going to encourage more kidnappings. Okay, that's their talking point. Now, the drones are over here now. Barack Obama bought the drones to the Philippines. Okay, you know, he was crazy about drones, and he brought them over here. They're over here now, so that could help, you know, pinpoint where the guy is, but who knows where they took him. But the thing is, what I can give Filipino authorities credit for is they know who's committing these crimes. Okay, if somebody was to get shot in San Carlos City right now, they're going to know who did it because everybody's not going around shooting people. So they're going to have a list, you know, they're going to be able to pinpoint it down real quick, talk to a few witnesses and say, yeah, and they get them. When the German national and his Filipino wife were tortured and killed in Cebu, in the province right outside Cebu, okay, the bad guys came in, they wanted the safe in their house. They caught the guys, they knew who did it the same night because it fit their MO. You know, they killed the man, he fought. He's like, fuck it, y'all gonna kill me anyway, you might as well kill me, but they tortured his wife. They wanted that, the combination to that safe. Well, evidently she didn't give it to him because they end up finding them both, you know, tied up and thrown into the ocean. But they knew who did that. So they know who kidnapped that boy. They know who did that. He said, I'd be happy to live on $5,000 per month, considering how much I'm spending now. Yeah, it's all relevant. See, we spend too much time arguing about stuff like that. I love the chime. It's a great point. I was just talking about that yesterday. I said, if a guy can come over here and live on $2,500 per month, and then we'll look at him like, oh, you're spending too much. No, he's not. Not when his bills is $7,000 in America. That's a deal for him. But we, you know, it's relative to your situation. If you're spending $10,000 a month, which when I left the United States, I was spending at least $5,000 per month. Okay, when you put, hell, I was paying $200 for my cable. You know, food, everything costs over the gasoline, everything, rent, utilities, entertainment. And then I came over here, man, and it went down like this. It was like they gave me free money. Danny, thanks for that super chat. He said, safe in the U.S.? He said, I work in Kansas City. They have had 100 plus homicides this year so far. How many in Cebu? How many in Davao? He said, live in the USA? Nope. Yeah, and that's why other countries tell their citizens don't go to the United States. It sounds crazy, right? But it's true. You can look it up. Look at some of these countries, travel advisors, they say, stay away from America. It's dangerous over there. But we're always pointing the finger at somebody else. K. Dallas says, I'm supposed to be heading to Davao City in May, but might reconsider it. Okay, that's what they tell you to do. Now, remember, in Davao, you're going to be in the city. Okay, more than likely, nobody's going to bother you there. But once you start going outside of Davao, in these provinces, in these mountains, you may have a problem. But that's exactly what they tell you to do right here, K. Dallas. It says reconsider travel to other areas of Mindanao. Danny rode to the Philippines. He built a house, well, actually 2 houses. He lives in, where you live, Davao del Norte? If his woman says don't go somewhere, even right up the street, you better listen. No Chingo Dinero says, Calvin, have you heard of any black foreigners getting kidnapped? No, but I've heard them getting killed. Okay, I don't know. What would you consider to be worse? Getting killed or getting kidnapped? But yeah, it's because, see, sometimes being black in the Philippines has its privileges. Okay, you're right about that. You know, but I only say that because over here they think that all white people are rich. That's just the way they think, man. Not me. They think that way. And that's why you see, when you see them people in them jungles and stuff, they're usually white. You know, because, okay, Duterte, the ex-president Duterte, one time when the United States was getting on him about his war on drugs, he called them hypocrites, man. You can go on YouTube and see the video. He said, y'all hypocrites. He said, y'all were there shooting black men in the back. And then you're going to tell me you're going to talk about my human rights violations? He said, take care of your mess over there first. Right? See, they know about black people over here, believe it or not. They know I struggle. They said it was the same thing in Vietnam. I had a brother served in Vietnam. You know, he said that they would be sending messages, you know, black man, go home. You don't have no skins in this game. But yeah, you know, but now do they kidnap dark-skinned men? Absolutely. Indians have been kidnapped in that South Sulu Sea, but they pay the ransom. Chinese, other Asian countries, they pay that ransom, man. Indonesians be out there fishing and get caught up in the Abu Sayyaf. Them governments pay the ransom. The United States is not going to pay a ransom. Yeah, he said, this is free knowledge being given for free. It all is, really. You know, we just have a conversation. We want your outcome to be better for your income over here. We want you to have a good time when you come over here. But people act like we don't know what we're talking about. We live over here. We see life over here on a day-to-day basis. Now, am I traveling all around to these fancy places? No, but there's guys who do that if you want to see that. That's why when I'm telling you about, you know, most of my vlogs are about my life and what I've been through, but what I'm seeing too. You know, I'm here long enough. I'm anchored here. I see the craziness that goes on with these relationships. Long when you gone back home, the girl is still here. I still see her and the shenanigans that she's playing. But when I tell y'all that, you act like I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to help you, you know. But if you're in a committed relationship, right? and I know you love the woman, and if I see her fooling around, I'm not going to tell you because I'm not going to do you a favor. I'm going to make it worse on you. I don't tell like that. I just give general information. You know, I would be hurting you. I'm not doing you a favor. He said, just make sure you keep appearance simple if you're in the province. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who would want to live in the province, though. I mean, it's asking too much, really. To visit, yeah. But to live there day in and day out like that, because we won't listen. We think we know more than the government, man. You know, in them provinces, man, you're sitting duck. Is all I'm telling you now. Okay, you make somebody mad at you there, there's no way out. They're gonna get you. They're gonna know your every move, everything you do, they're gonna know it. There's no hiding places in the province. It's just not. He said, what are the carry laws like there? Isaac Patterson. Well, you as a foreigner, you can't own any firearms. You can own bear spray and pepper spray and certain kinds of knives, but you can't own a firearm. And some guys are like, well, get your girlfriend a firearm, and then she'll end up shooting you with the damn thing. But that's how, some guys get around it. They'll get the gun in the girlfriend's name. But if I was in a place where I thought I needed a gun, I wouldn't be here. See, we bring that from America because you need a gun over there. So we bring it over here, we think we need a gun here. Even if he had a gun Thursday night, it wouldn't have saved him. He might have took somebody out, but they certainly was going to take him out. 4 M16s is probably going to, he's going to be outgunned. He's probably going to have one of these, homemade 38s or 40 calibers that they're known for over here. He says, are you a passport, bro? Well, I live here. I've had a passport since 2006, and I joined the Navy in 1981. So long before, what is a passport, bro? If you ask 100 people, they're going to give you 100 different answers. He said, yeah, that 38 won't work against 4 heavily armed dudes. It's not. Saranalot says, I've been here 2 months already in the province. I'm always changing my sleep schedule, movements, etc. A Filipino's family is in local government. At least they'll know what happened. Yeah, and that's really all that's going to occur. And they may be able to do some stuff behind the scenes to stop the people. But if the people are hell-bent on getting you over here, there's really nothing anybody can do. They're going to get you. So it's best to come over here, keep a low profile, as low as you possibly can, and mind your own business, man. Don't be in people's business. Don't tell your girlfriend, the woman you sleeping with, don't tell her anything you don't want nobody else to know because she's going to tell it. They can't keep a secret over here. But the number one, so I made it rule number 1, shut the fuck up and mind your own business. You can't speak the language. You don't know people over here. You don't know the culture. You don't know anything. Just come over here, man. Relax, and live your best life. Don't be involved in stuff. If somebody's trying to cheat you out 100 pesos, give them the damn 100 pesos and live to see another day. Be arguing over 100 pesos. Because people talk about the skin tax. Man, these people ain't cheating you out of that much money. Promise you. Okay, if I go to the market right now, okay, they may get me for 50 pesos extra per kilo. Is that enough for me to start arguing with somebody, embarrass them in front of their friends and family, and then they send a two-man tandem after me? No, they're talking about, oh, I'm tired of paying the skin tax. Where are you going shopping at, man? That you paying so much skin tax over here? That's bullshit, and you know it. Pay it. It ain't nothing. It's like, I remember one time I'm in Manila and we're on the boardwalk. It's at night. We're getting ready to go home. So it's us, and then next to us, it's another couple, a gay couple, which it doesn't matter, but just to tell the real story. Where the taxi comes up, they're supposed to stop and let them come, but no, it comes to us. But boy, the gay couple got this guy, and then their last words are, God's going to get you. You know, that's the kind of stuff that they can get away with. You can't get away with. Okay, if the taxi wants to charge you a couple of hundred extra pesos, okay, you got me this time. But you won't get me again. You got me this time. That's how you live to see another day. He said, do you miss America? I miss the people. I'm not going to lie, but do I miss America? No, I miss the people. I miss my friends and family. I miss I don't even miss the food anymore. I've been over here long enough that I don't miss the food anymore. But all them politics and their foreign policy and all that, man, no. All that stuff, all that gossip and, distractions and all that propaganda and stuff with this, they're making this P. Diddy thing out of more than what it is. It's not that important. It's important to the people it happened to, but you don't have to throw it in my face. I don't know him. I don't care. Every show is talking about that man like he's the devil or something. Yeah, if it happened to my 16-year-old daughter or son, yeah, I'd be angry, but I don't know him. It didn't happen to me. No, I don't miss that part of it where we're so distracted over there. Everybody now, now if you turn on any sports channel, they're talking about Bronny James. Leave that man alone. What difference does it make? Let him play his game, okay? Let that play itself out. It's no big deal. We make a big deal out of everything over there. No, I don't miss the culture over there. I promise you that. I wouldn't last in America right now. Okay? And I saw a debate. Hey, Daryl P.O., thanks for that super sticker. On Piers Morgan, it's Candace Owens, Mark Lamont Hill, and Lord Jamal. And that's the type of stuff I need to get away from, man. About P. Diddy, and then they start talking about Kamala Harris, and, and it's just, it got off the rails with me, and I was like, man, this is why I left America. I don't need to have those discussions, because at the end of the day, it's not going to matter to me, He says it's illegal to even carry a pocket knife as a foreigner. But I don't know about that. They said it's certain type of knives. I'm going to do like Sir Ron-a-Lot said. Get me a damn utility knife and carry it around. And if they stop you, well, I'm doing work on my house. Okay? That's going to, okay, that will work. Because that'll cut the hell out of somebody. But to be honest with you, man, if you use your common sense, man, and your due diligence, you're probably not going to have any that much trouble over here, if any trouble at all. Do you think I'm going to be walking around Mango Square drunk at night like the guy did, who he made a video and he got like 1 million views? They stole his wallet. Well, what do you think going to happen to you? You're lucky that's all they stole. You think I'm going to go to walking street, pissy drunk, smoking a joint, walking down the middle of the street, talking crazy to the women, disrespecting them and all that, and nothing good going to happen. And you don't know what you're doing when you're in them blackouts. You went out just to have a few drinks with the boys. You had one too many. You don't remember nothing when you got up the next day. And they're telling you, man, you lucky that man was going to cut your throat. We know what to do, man. Leave these men's wives alone over here. Because people always ask me, hey, Cal, do Filipino men, do they care that you deal with Filipino women? No, unless it's their woman. Unless it's their girlfriend or their wife. Then they care. But anything else, no, they don't care. Because the women we end up with, they don't appreciate them anyway. It's just like we're not appreciated in our country. So, birds of a feather flock together really over here. Okay, we're a match made in heaven or hell, whichever way you want to look at it. But they don't care. It's not like you coming over here getting the cream of the crop. That's reserved for the locals. We get the bad girls, most of us. And you can be, you can deny it and be, you can be in denial you won't. We get the ones that we got to shake the dust off of them, or the rust off of them. They're bad. They've had a child or two. They've had a boyfriend or two. They don't have any more dreams and all that. Okay, those are the ones that be on the dating site. They don't care. They're glad that you got them because now you can help them. They're bad girls, but they got potential. It just depends on you. Is she going to blossom under you? Or are you just going to go on and push her further on down? Like some guys do over here. He said, Jungle Man Space Cowboy is locked up in Angeles City. I believe he'll get out if they believe his story about using that for medical reasons. But that's a big bet, man. I tell you, I don't know. I was kind of shocked that he was locked up. But he hung around all those women, or he let those women hang around him. Those women are damaged, man. Mentally, physically, psychologically, man. You can't have those type of people hanging around you. Nothing good's gonna come of that. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, we get the ones they've been damaged a little bit. It's like that scratch and dent furniture that they sell for half price at the stores. That got damaged during delivery or something like that. That's what we end up with over here, man. But it's okay for us because we're misfit. We're misfits too. I mean, let's just be honest. Remember, I compare ourselves to the land of misfit toys. Remember, who ever seen that Santa Claus is coming to town? Or is that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Where he goes to the land of misfit toys. And he promises, I'm coming back because, and give you to the little kids that wouldn't have toys otherwise. They're going to appreciate you. Okay? But that's who we are. We're the same damn thing. They're going to say, yeah, we're going to take you to the Philippines and give you to a woman who wouldn't have a man otherwise. Or give you give you a man who wouldn't have a woman otherwise. We're the damn misfits, really. We're both misfits. That's why we get along so damn well. We're made for each other. But the cream of the crop, you're not getting, buddy. Okay, because she wants to enjoy the Filipino culture. Why would you want to deny her that anyway? Well, she can get courted and all that stuff, have the man come and bring food and play the guitar, and and she's in the window and all. She wants to go through that. Let them women go through that. He said, you laying down facts, Cal. I'm telling the truth, man. They got a scratch and dent sale over here. And we come over here to take advantage of that. Because we're misfits. He says, yeah. But this is all the time, big dog. He said 2 months ago, they killed some Indian money loaners in Mindanao. It's getting bad again. Yeah, but this happens all the time. These Indian, all you got to do is go on Google, and if you put that in there, man, so many stories like that's going to come up. Okay, the Indians, they got that market sold up, that 5-6 market, but that's a dangerous game. It's lucrative, but it's a dangerous game, and it's only a matter of time they're gonna get you. Okay, you either gonna lend the wrong person money, or you're gonna be in competition with the wrong person. They're gonna get you. There's a reason why when they come around to collect, man, they look like mummies, man. They all wrapped up. You can't see them. They don't want you to know who they are. All you see is their eyes, like that. Come around and get that money. Yeah, he said we're all damaged for something. But I'm just saying, though, that, you know, the women we end up with over here, that you know, they've been damaged a little bit. You know, I don't care what she looks like, because we don't know everything about the women, really. We only know what they tell us. You'll be shocked once you stay around for a while and stuff start coming out. And you're going to be like, oh, Sunshine Shoulder said it. You know, the cream of the crop, you're not going to get. Man, if you say, well, what's the cream of the crop? All you got to do is go around these college campuses, IT Park, in different places like that. You're going to see. You're not getting that. He said, hey, Bijan Bain, he said, greetings from John Teen. He said, we're all misfits. Yeah, we are. You might as well be, you know, y'all know I'm telling the truth. Go back and watch Santa Claus Coming to Town. It's either Santa Claus Coming to Town or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, where he makes that promise. That's where all the damaged and misfit toys, you know, Charlie in the box instead of Jack in the box. They said, well, who wants a Charlie in the box? And then the one choo-choo train said, who wants a choo-choo train with square wheels? And then, you know, we're the damn choo-choo train with square wheels when we get over here. You know, nobody wants us over there. But he said, we got a place for you where they accept you. 18 to 80, blind, crippled, or crazy. He said, I remember that cartoon now. Yeah. He said, that's generalizing. There are plenty of beautiful and clean women in the U.S. Well, not that wants my ass, okay? I'm just being honest. I get the motherboard over there, dude. I'm being real. You can fantasize all you want. It's a lot of beautiful women over there. They don't want me. I'm a misfit over there. They don't want a 61-year-old. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I'm not generalizing. Why you think these men and the certain types of men are showing up over here, dude? That ain't generalizing. They know what they get. If I'm dating in America, she's anywhere from 55 to 65. I don't want that. I'm sorry. Okay? You talking about 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Now you got to have 1,000 bottles of that KY jelly. Them dried up women, man. And the ones that ain't dried up, they got them elephant pussies over there. You can't satisfy a 55-year-old woman, man. They done had hysterectomies and all kind of stuff. There's nothing in there. What you fucking? Do you want to be real about it? Eastern Dreamer says, I agree, Cal. I plan to do a video on the subject. Yeah, we're misfits. We're a match made in heaven, Eastern Dreamer. Period in the story. Nobody wants them over here, and nobody wants us over there. So we come together. I'm the train with square wheels. I'm sorry. And most of you guys are Charlie in the box and all kinds of stuff. What kind of stuff it is? Of course, they're going to get Frank Ellis. He said, Filipino guys get the cream of the crop. And they have to put in the work. Yeah, same as over there. Do you think Filipino men are going to America getting the cream of the crop? They're not. American men are getting the cream of the crop. It's the same thing over here. You see some of the women these Filipino men be with, you be like, man, she's in a whole different class than what's on that dating site. I'm just being honest. But let me say this though, for us, because what our selection over there, our options over there are so limited, then the scratch and dent sale over here is like, it's like buying a brand new piano. You know, even though the damn piano ain't got wheels on the damn thing, it's still a brand new piano. So yeah, I appreciate what I'm getting over here because I know what's going on over there. He said, you just answered my question, Cal. Women on some BS in America, not all, but the ones we want. Yeah, these women, okay, I'm just being honest with you. Okay, Maryland is 42. I'm 61. I'm not even getting a 42-year-old single mother over there. I'm telling you what I'm getting. She's retired. She's a retired woman over there. Probably only have interest in sex anymore. You know, here I am. I'm still 61. My hormones are still working. Testosterone still working. Everything's still working. I'm not going to be compatible with any 61-year-old woman. The next live stream I have tomorrow, okay, my regular live stream, I'm going to show y'all a picture of the woman I went to the prom with. She was a damn piece then. But I'm going to show you what she looks like now. She looks like Mike Tyson. And that's what I got waiting for me over there. I'm not in denial. You guys can be in denial. Oh, I've always had nice-looking women and all this and I date nice-looking women. Well, why are you trying to come 8,000 miles for then? To date a woman then, if you can get it all over there. Okay, I'm sorry, you can't. He says, I had to make the jump. I looked around, 33, no women my age that don't already have kids are drinking, drug problems, are fat in the U.S. Now I got a beautiful 23-year-old Filipino for the last 3 years. Yeah, you know, it's the scratch and dent sale. It's going on. You got the memo. But if you over here dating, you got to look in the mirror. There's something wrong with you too. As long as you aren't afraid to admit that, you're going to be okay. But if you come over here thinking you all that and the women want you for your good looks and intelligence, man, you got a long way to go. He said, we're considered misfits for coming to the Philippines. Well, I mean, to date, though, Thomas, I mean, it's true, though. Okay, because, okay, let's say, for instance, take my buddy John. May he rest in peace. He was 61. He had a 26-year-old woman, man, in the prime of her life. Okay? I'm sorry. John was a misfit. Yeah, everybody got time for them big Shirleys and stuff, man. He said, damn, we can always count on Cal to bring up the elephant pussy. Yeah, because you know it's true. He said, checking in from Labada, great subject today. Hey, thank you, man. But y'all know it's true. Once a woman reaches a certain age, everything falls apart. And that's one of the first things that falls apart. But now in America, if you got the money, they got something where they can put it back together. Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett, had that operation. Her pussy just fell apart. All that sex she didn't have with all the men, you know, it just fell apart. She started fooling with that young man and went and had that reconstructive surgery. You know, the women we deal with ain't got that kind of money. You're just going to be dealing with an old, worn out piece of meat. You know, it's just, you're just going to be sitting there beating yourself to death. He said, ain't no halfway decent looking woman be interested in a 60-year-old guy in the States. You're right, but another 60-year-old woman. But nobody wants to be truthful about it. Okay, if you like 60-year-old women, then why would you come over here and get a 30-year-old woman? Why just stay home? But some guys do that. They'll come over here and date 60-year-old women. a 55-year-old women. I'm like, man, what are you doing? Didn't you get the memo? Hey, John. He said, the devil goes everywhere. He said, those big elephant girls here need industrial size. Man, I tell you, some of these women, man, over there, they're so dried up, man. If they get a certain age, that's why they don't want to have sex, because it hurts. You know, you can't do nothing with them. It's like, lady, I done went broke on KY jelly. And, you know, you can never satisfy them, because that's how they go by. You know, they want, you got to be, what? Not only you got to be 6 foot, 6-pack, 6 figures, you got to be 6 inches long on soft. You don't even think about your 6 inches. You know, they're unreasonable, man. The expectations are unrealistic. You can't satisfy them. Yeah, he said, I'm 31, so a lot of options. Yeah, when I was 31, I wasn't even thinking about the Philippines, man. Because you don't have to think about the Philippines at 31. You still got plenty of options over there. If you're 31 in America and you claim you run out of options, dude, it's you. It ain't the women. I hate to tell you that. It's some fine-ass 20-something-year-olds in America. I tell you that. Moments with Mitch says, if you want top shelf in America, you better have 10 million. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's all relative, though. You come over here with 2,000 a month. That's like having, okay, that would be 100. That'd be like 115,000 pesos a month. That'd be like having 115,000 US over there. I'm not talking about exchange rate. I'm talking about the degree of difficulty. So that's the kind of money you'd have over here when you come over here. That's why, you know, we're able to get the women that we're able to get. They're not with you because of your good looks and intelligence, guys. It's initially the money and a better life. He said Mike Tyson. That's true, though. That's what she looks like now. And she's still a sweet woman. But, lady, you look like Mike Tyson with a gut. She looks like Mike Tyson with a gut. That's what I'm looking at if I go over there. Because anything else, it's harassment. It's the Me Too movement's going to come in. And are you harassing the woman? He said, come on, Cal, she look like Mike Tyson. She does. She wears glasses now, and she got a gut, but she looks like Mike Tyson. Shoulders bigger than mine. He said, I'm 53. I came to the Philippines and married a 63-year-old. Well, damn your bad luck, dude. What was you drinking? Was you smoking crack on the plane over here, man? What the hell are you thinking? You are a misfit. I'm like, damn. Do you know what a 63-year-old Filipino woman looks like? Let me see. You do wear glasses, man. You must have took your glasses off when you got over here, dude. Are you crazy? What's wrong with you? Was she a millionaire or something over here? He said, I would be considered upper class in the Philippines, but barely getting by in the U.S. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's relative. So you come over here, man, you got 2,500, 3,000, 3,500. Some guys come over here, man, they're getting VA, they're getting Social Security, man. They're looking at 7,000, 7,500 a month, man. You might as well have 10 million. But I'm not going to waste my money and my time on a 63-year-old woman. I'm not talking about your wife. She might be beautiful, but that's you. I'm not going to do that. 63? My God. He said we dated for a year. Yeah, so that means she's 62. He said we dated for a year. Yeah, he must have been on. He's smoking something. Give me some of what you got, Isaac. But he's not the only one. There's another guy got a YouTube channel that I watch from time to time. He lives in Davao. And he did a video because his wife is old. I think his wife is like 61. And I'm like, man, these guys just want companionship. They don't want the tune-up. They want the Filipina companionship. That's what they want. I want the tune-up, man. I'm not looking at a 61-year-old woman, man. Yeah, I hear you, Isaac. He said, now I'm 40 and she's 62. Shit. Yo, what up, brother? You definitely hilariously factual. I need to hear all of this. I take my square wheels to the DR for now. Yeah, you know I'm telling the truth, dude. Yeah. He says all these fine young girls would change his mind. Well, I know his woman ain't letting him go nowhere. She's 63. She know all this out there, and he's 53. Hell, he's still a spring chicken over here. What you doing, booby? Where you going?
I'm gonna find the blue chair.
Yeah, he's at his damn man. But he said he's happy. Is she still giving you the tune-up? Is she able to give the tune-up at 63 over here? Because that's considered a senior citizen over here. Most of the ones at 63 over here, they shaped like a damn question mark and, flat back here. They got that little gut here and, the skeleton's messed up.
Mama said I want a vitamin.
A vitamin? Okay. Wait. Here, take this in there and let her give it to you.
I just had to hear that.
Okay. Get out of here. It's not candy. She thinks of vitamin C is candy. Yeah, fridge mode. What's up, Kaz? Kaz, you back in the US, right? Yeah, he said, Boo says a Canadian YouTuber, Toronto Brad, goes to the fields to chase grannies. He's proud of it. You could probably have remember the guy was talking about a rotation. You could have a rotation over here if you're going to deal with women 50 and up over here because they lonely. It's crickets. I mean, it's correct. Nobody's looking at them, man. If they end up with somebody on that dating site, because those are the ones, man, when you first get on the dating site, now those aren't scammers. They're just desperate, man. You'd be like, because they got 18 to 80 is their filter. So you're going to get some, Sarah, 69, widow, and she likes this and like that. Lady, I don't care what you like. Keep going. Well, I haven't. He said he's seen some fine ones. I haven't. He says, she ain't letting nobody look at me. I know. He said, I'm 51. I'm looking for a 20-year-old. Yeah, that's about right. Well, he's 53. He's a spring chicken over here. The average expat over here is like 62. Yeah, you see them over here. I love my mother-in-law, man. She's 68. I help her 60. Man, if you guys come over here dating them, man, and they're beautiful women, but man, y'all got to be crazy, man. I'm not going to lie. Y'all got to be crazy. I have to really question your sanity if you coming over here dating 60-something-year-old women. Even 50-something-year-old women, man, their time is up, man. It's up. He said, LOL, I'll get some fine youngins in Louisville. I know you was pulling them with that insurance bread. No, but then I was younger, though. But remember, I had my wife with me. My wife was 28 when she came to America. Man, when I divorced my American wife, that was 2011. So what was I, 48? the next woman that I really got serious with over there, she was from Cuba. When I was 50, she was 49. I know what I'm talking about. And, you know, she had already, okay, and I was just doing that. I was only going to date her, you know, just until my wife's K1 was approved. We just end up getting tight because she was fun, you know, them Latin women, you know, but she was 49 with heart problems and all that kind of stuff, man. You know, and I know what's waiting for me over there. He said, I'm 32. I've been called a baby here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So certainly if I'm 52, I'm not looking at a 63. Man, guys, okay, I'm not talking about him, man. I'm just saying their better days are behind them. They don't have testosterone like we do. That's why we look a lot younger and we're still able to do something, man. That's elder abuse over here, man. That's elder abuse. He says, it's me though, Cal. My ex-wife from the U.S. is 75. Oh, so you like them old. Well, what is about them old women? Let us in on the secret. Because they surely ain't giving you the lube job that, you know. He said, you from the 502? Yeah, I'm from Louisville. He said, no way I would date a woman my age if I moved to another country. You defeating the purpose, man. It's not even, man, I don't even want to think about that. Because I see them all the time. Like I said, I love my mother-in-law. She's 68. And my helper's 60. I see them. I know what I'm looking at. Nope. But hey, guys, I'm ready to get off here, man. If y'all want to go and watch some of the guys' videos, maybe, you know, we can boost his views up, get his comment and likes up, man. So when he's released, you know, he have a little bit bread, man, to get back home and everything, man. But don't fall asleep over here, guys. We have a tendency to do that over here. Filipinos are so hospitable. They're so warm and welcoming. That's true, man. But not all of them. So you let your guard down, man. You end up getting kidnapped like this young man. I can just imagine. He's living his best life. Now he done woke up in the jungle. He got a gunshot wound to his leg. You know, they probably got him blindfolded. Basically in a cage some damn where probably, man. You know, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, man. You know, but it could happen to any of us. That's why I wanted to have the live stream today, because a lot of us have went to sleep over here, chasing these women, man. You know, if you come over here, your end of the bargain is to at least give her a better lifestyle. So if I would have met Marilyn and she was living where they were living, we wouldn't be living there. I'm not going to live like that under no circumstances. Okay? We're out of there, so I don't have to worry about. She can be from any part of the Philippines she wants to be in. Don't mean I'm going to live there. I'm certainly not going to live where he was. Everything was plywood, you know, and it's just every expat's nightmare. I'm going to take a page out of the guy's book. He said it's a major setback to the expat community. So take care, y'all. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'll see y'all next time. Don't do anything stupid. Stay out of them red zones, man. It says right here, do not travel to the Sulu archipelago. Reconsider travel to other areas of Mindanao, meaning all the other areas. If you down there and something happens, guess what they're going to do? We told you, stupid. Because it's not like in Saudi Arabia when they cut your head off. You don't feel nothing because the blades are so sharp. Over here, they got those dull blades and they do it on purpose. They want you to feel everything when that damn knife is crunching through your damn trachea. You hear that. You don't want that, man.